Hello students, good morning and welcome to Decimus Education Hub. Today we will be doing chapter 1.5 Joan of Arc. Now who is Joan of Arc? Yes, we can't tell is, she was. But she is still remembered today for her bravery, for her courage, yes, her determination. Now you might have heard in our country itself, there were many women warriors. Take for example, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Razia Sultana. Okay. Now these women, they played active role on the battlefield. Now here also we will be learning about a French girl. Though she did not belong to a warrior family, but still for all, she made the French soldiers, gave courage to the French soldiers to fight against the British army. Now let us see at what stage, in what situation did she start fighting with the British and why. Yes, you might have heard the French and British were always at war with each other. 100-year war, a 7-year war. Yes, and during one such war, during the 100-year war, this girl, Joan, had played an active role in motivating the French soldiers to free New Orleans, yes, which was under the British rule. Now going to the central idea, Joan of Arc by George Bernard Shaw is a play narrating the story of a courageous and undying spirit of a girl, Joan. Of course, this extract, it's an extract. It's a full play written, but this is just a part of the full play. Outlines Joan's attempt, bold attempt, very courageous attempt to convince Captain Robert. Now, the captain, he was the chief, but she convinced him, though she belonged to a peasant family. She was a peasant girl, a maid who looked after cattle. Captain Robert to allow her to fight the Englishmen. Throughout the extract, we come across Joan's qualities that make her stand out from the ordinary soldiers. Yes, though she was not a soldier. Now we have heard about Rani Lakshmi Bai, Razia Sultana. They belonged to the warrior family. But Joan, no. She was a peasant girl. Still for all, she showed her bravery. Now, the summary of the lesson. See, we will be doing this in 3 parts because it's quite a big chapter. Yes, first I will give you all the summary, the central idea. Then we'll go half chapter and half chapter. Okay, for better understanding, I want you all students to have a pencil in your hand so that you all can write the meanings, and whenever you all read the lesson, you all should understand it. Synonyms are very important. Now the summary of the lesson. The scene begins against the background of the 100 Years' War between England and France. Captain Robert, the military officer, is discussing Joan. Please, students, pronounce it as Joan, not John. Yes, Joan. A teenage girl, and she's not a very big girl. She's just in her teens. In fact, she doesn't know her age, but she is supposedly to be just 17 years, whom he clearly dislikes. And why does Captain Robert dislike her? He dislikes her because she shows more bravery than any of his trained soldiers. We see the steward being all praise for Joan, but steward, Captain Robert's attendant, is all praise for Joan. He is praising her. Who has managed to inspire the French soldiers? Who has managed to inspire the French soldiers? It is Joan. To fight against the English. In the meanwhile, Joan enters to meet Captain Robert. Of course, she has to take permission of Captain Robert to go to the battlefield. And before going to the battlefield, she has to take the permission of the king, who is called the Dauphin here. Okay? Okay. And of course, the Dauphin, we come to know later on, is not a very courageous person. He is in hiding, afraid of the English. Yes, we'll come through that later on. and narrates her plans to him. Robert threatens to put her behind the bars. Now, why does he threaten to put her behind the bars? He threatens to lock her away because she is showing more bravery. And as you know, he dislikes her. He does not like her because she is showing more bravery than any of his soldiers. But she is unabashedly bold. Unabashedly means very stubbornly bold. Yes, she is determined. उसके अंदर एक जिद है कि नहीं, मैं कर सकती हूँ और करूँगी. Okay, because and straightforward. Okay, she is very straightforward. She informs Robert that Pollengy, Jack got saved, Dick and their servants, John of Horncourt and Julian, will accompany her to fight the English. Now these were the other soldiers who promised, yes, who promised that they would accompany her to fight the English. Robert thinks that she has lost her mind. Lost her mind means she has gone mad, she has gone insane, पागल हो गई. एक लड़की होके you can fight the English. Oh, it's just something mad. Because according to him, his men, who are his men? The soldiers, can get the job done better. Robert sends for Monsieur de Pollengy. Now, Monsieur in French, it is Monsieur. In English, we call Sir. And inquires if he was taking Joan seriously. Pollengy explains that there is something about Joan. Something. There is some courage inside her, some determination, some thing inside her, and he thinks that it is a good idea to let Joan meet the Dauphin. Dauphin, the king, in Chinon. The king is in hiding in Chinon. Chinon, a place, okay? As the Dauphin is scared, he's afraid of the English and wouldn't fight to stop the English. He believes that Joan herself is a bit of a miracle. Why miracle? उसके अंदर कुछ चमत्कार है. That she can convince, she can fight the Britishers, being a the French soldiers who had just thought that they could never defeat the British, who could miraculously free Orleans. However, Robert is not convinced. He's not at all convinced. He's not assured. He tries to scare Joan, but she seems unafraid and tells him that if God is on your side, yes, of course, she is a God-fearing person, yes, and she believes that God also has to be on your side, nothing is difficult. Joan points out that the French soldiers would run away to save their skin. Save their skin means save themselves. Yes, they were afraid of the torture that the English would give them. But she would teach them to fight for France. Yes, students, recollect this. Even our people, when they fought the First War of Independence, yes, in 1857, they fought for their own causes. Yes, each one fighting for their own cause. But here, when they started fighting for the nation, yes, they got the spirit. Same way here, she told that if they fight for France, for the country, they will surely be unconquerable. They will surely be victorious. Finally, Robert decides to take a risk at the insistence of Pollengy. Pollengy forces him, take a risk, and gives Joan a chance, as there is something about her that is extremely convincing, something very convincing, very assuring. Yes, she has convinced whom? Pollengy, and Pollengy wants to convince Robert, Captain Robert, and he wants that, oh, Joan should be given a chance to fight whom? The English soldiers, and free Orleans, okay, which was under the British rule, which was captured by the British. It was a French colony captured by the British. Okay, so now students, in the second part, I will read the lesson. I want you all to have pencils in your hand, and since it's a play, yes, this lesson is in a play form, a drama. Okay, so whenever we meet again, we will of course have a drama. We will enact it, and it will be very beautiful. Okay, students, we will meet in the second part. Okay, bye. Okay, students, now I will read to you all the lesson, the chapter. Okay,